Okay, so we've talked about how to build products in product groups here in ArcSight. Once you have the desired products and or groups ready to go, you can then assemble them into a bundle. And that's what we'll go through here. Specifically, I'll walk through an example of setting up a vinyl fence bundle here in the environment. So I'm going to click over into my vinyl 5 foot high category that I've got set up over here. And then I'm going to toggle over to bundle and then hit new bundle here to get started. We'll define a name. In this case, I'm going to name it 5 foot privacy vinyl fence. And this will be a clay variation. Now, the visual type, you'll see that that's pre-selected as line arc, and that's what we want, right? We know that our fences are going to be represented visually on the canvas by drawing a series of lines. So we're good there. And then in the visual section here, we can go in and select what I want that line to look like, right? So if I want it to be a particular color, maybe a little bit thicker than the default, whatever the case may be, I can go in and make those adjustments and then apply those visual settings. Unit is going to already be on linear feet for us here, so that's perfect. That's obviously what we want for a fence bundle. Visibility shouldn't need to toggle either of these. So we'll scroll down to the bundled content section here, right, where we'll begin to add the components that are going to comprise this particular bundle. Now, in my case, I have five individual line items that I want to add into my bundle. Two of them are going to be product groups, and three are individual products. So we'll go through, add each one row by row, and then configure the settings for each line item as appropriate. I'm going to start with my group for my section choices. So we'll go down to product group here at the bottom right. And then I can go into my search bar up here, and I'll search for my 5 privacy section group clay. Here it is. Perfect. So I'll add that in. And then once I've added this line item, you'll see that there are a few columns here of properties that I can edit. One is required. I can toggle each row to either be required or optional. And then the other here is quantity, right? And this is where I'm going to set the rule for how to calculate how much I need of this particular line item within my bundle. To access the quantity settings for each row, you're going to want to hit this little blue button that says, has a plus minus times equals there. We'll click on that, and that will open up this quantity setting box where we can set our quantity rule. Now, for many of your fence line items, a common option you're going to want to toggle over to here is the simple rule. The simple rule allows us to define for every X number of linear feet of fence, right, I'm going to have Y quantity of this other thing. In this case, it's sections, right? So in this case, I know that for every 8 feet, I'm going to need one section. So I can go ahead and plug that in here. And then I can round up, round down, or not at all. I'll leave it on the round up in this case. So we'll hit OK. We'll save that rule. Now you'll notice that next to the quantity, you also have this preview column. The preview doesn't actually do anything. It's really just there to kind of help you check your math, right? So if I change this from 10 feet to 80 feet, let's say, it will give me an updated calculation of how many components I would need, right? So in this case, if I had 80 feet of fence, I would need 10 sections. Again, not controlling anything as far as what's calculated. The preview is really just there to help you do your math and make sure that the quantity rules that you have set in the quantity column are correct and what you need to get the right material calculation. Now, what I like to do at this stage is go ahead and hit OK just to save this bundle into my environment. And then I can go back here into my category and click on it. And now any changes that I make within this bundle will be auto-saved without me worrying about, potentially clicking away and losing the line items that I've added prior to the initial save. So I've added my first row, my section here. Now, the next thing that I want to add is a group for my post cap options. So I'll go into product groups once again. This one I believe is called 5-inch post caps. Yep, and then we'll grab the clay. We'll bring that in here as well. And then once again, I'm going to go in and set my quantity. This is going to be actually the same as the row above. It'll be for every 8 feet, we'll have 1 cap and then round up. And then now that I've done my 2 groups, I can go in and add my remaining 3 items, which are all going to be products. So I'll go down and hit Add Product. And then I'm going to go to my vinyl parts category where I have those remaining items living. Now I can add items in one at a time, right? So I can, if I know that my line post is the next thing that I want to add, I can grab that by itself and then hit save. And then I can go in and update my quantity rule. Now I can also, if I want to go back and grab those last 2 items, rather than going in and, selecting each one at a time, I can also do a bulk select. So I can grab both of these remaining 2 together. I'm going to leave the line posts checked because I've already selected that, but I want to keep it in the bundle. So I'll then go down and hit save, and that'll bring both of those 2 remaining items here into the bundle in one click. So I can then go in and adjust those quantities as well. For my concrete, that'll be 2 bags of concrete for every 8 feet. So I'll say for every 8 feet, 2 of the bags, and then round up. And then for my screws, this one is going to be, for every 8 feet, I'm going to need 6. So I'll plug that in there.